Turtles. Turtle! Okay, so I have some new salt shakers to review today. They are some turtles. As you can see, they look pretty nice, I guess. We'll get into this in a second. But, first of all, I just wanted to mention, it is just a coincidence that this happens right after I post a video about how to befriend a turtle. Now remember, I gave the polar bear I think it was a 7 out of 10. I don't really remember. I'm not going to go look it up. I'm pretty sure I gave the polar bear a 7 out of 10. That's him right there. Say hi to the polar bear. And I gave these flamingos a 6 out of 10, I think. Or maybe a 5. Something like that. Anyway. As I've said, the polar bear is the closest we've gotten so far to the perfect salt shaker. But he did have one major downside, that being he was not good at salting because of the fact he had just these 2 big holes on the top. The salt did not spread very evenly, and as such, I think we can find a better one. I know it's out there. We just have to find it. So, we're gonna do that. Alright, so, as you can see, these turtles are kind of, they are kind of similar to the flamingos as far as their design, whereas the polar bear was like kind of nice and cartoonish almost, just sort of minimalistic and charming. The flamingos were more ornate, but kind of lacked that friendly spirit that the polar bear had, and I think these turtles are kind of the same way, if you see what I mean. I mean, their faces look kind of ridiculous. I don't know what's up with their eyes. But I gotta say, the design of them, other than their faces, is really good. I mean, look at that sand. It's got those little brown specks. This water has some really cool looking waves. But they don't look that charming like the polar bear. So, I gotta say, I'd probably rate their design slightly higher than the flamingos, because they are definitely more impressive than the flamingos as far as the quality of the craftsmanship, but I still do like the polar bear's design better. So, anyway, these turtles are not shaping up to be the perfect salt shakers, but don't worry, because we're gonna see if they can make up for that in how good they are at actually shaking salt. As you know, they are salt shakers, and we've been testing the efficacy of all our salt shakers so far as how well they salt things. So, we are going to do that now. Observe! I did that in one take this time. That was impressive, right? So today we're going to try salting a lettuce, because I already used a tortilla chip twice. So, didn't want to get repetitive. Now again, as you can see, these polar bears, much like the flamingos, have one for salt and one for pepper. The salt shaking one is obviously going to be better, so, we don't really need to test this pepper one, to be honest. I just tossed it across the room, but it did not break, so, as far as durability goes, I guess they're good. I get a ton of salt everywhere, every time I open this thing. Alright, once again, gonna have to block these holes as I fill it with salt, so as to keep the salt from just falling out the bottom. I really kind of wish they could come up with a design for these things that made that not an issue, but it seems like that's an issue for pretty much every animal salt shaker, so, Oh, wait. I just dropped it all back out onto the table, because I forgot there was a hole in the bottom. Okay, now we have even more salt on the table. I am wasting so much salt making these videos. You have no idea. There we go. That's easy enough. I'm going to try and sweep this salt here back into the salt shaker if I can. As much of it as possible. Oh no. Okay, that did not work. I just dropped all the salt onto the floor. Like all of it. Oh, and all the rest of it too. Okay, it's all on the floor now. Almost all of it. Can I get a little in there? Okay, I got a little bit in there. But yeah, pretty much all of it went on the floor. So, you know. Yeah, that didn't go well. Alright, so as before, we're gonna see how well the turtle measures up to all the other salt shakers in terms of salt shakering. So, let's start with this normal salt shaker. Alright, there's an average salt shaker performance for reference. Now, for more reference, let's do the turtle really quick. Or the polar bear. I said turtle, I meant polar bear, sorry. That was the polar bear. Turtle's coming in a second. Let's do the flamingo. Alright. Once again, flamingo is better than the polar bear, but still not as good as this salt shaker. But, the question we've all been waiting for. How well does this frankly hideous turtle, I mean, seriously, look at that face, measure up? Let's find out. Okay, wait, do I hold it like this or like this? I'm gonna hold it like this. Bit of a strange design flaw there. I don't know which way to hold it. With the other salt shakers, it's pretty clear how to hold it, but this one's kind of strange. Anyway. Okay. It's, for the most part, kind of just very concentrated. Not so much in one area, but more like in one line. As I'm sure you can tell by the placement of the holes. There's going to be very little spread, and therefore, it really isn't as good as the flamingo or this salt shaker. But, is it better than the polar bear? I've gotta say, I think it's worse. Oh no, it's better. Okay, never mind. The turtle is better. Yes, the turtle is better at salt shaking than the polar bear. But you'd still be better off getting the flamingo or just a boring normal salt shaker if you're interested in salt shaking performance. So that is going to do it for this video. Hope you learned something about salt shakers. As you can see, it's a very serious effort. We do need to find the perfect animal-shaped salt shaker. And I know that day will come. Don't worry, I'll keep at it. I'll go buy another salt shaker. And hopefully we'll find the right one eventually. Hopefully we will. So, until next time, I will see you next time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go clean up seriously a lot of salt. Goodbye.